Hello everyone and welcome to Draw My Impact. What do you think Tesla's impact is? Well, if you don't know, you're about to find out with today's podcast. Here is today's agenda. First, introduction of Tesla. Second, evaluations, methodology and findings. Third, analysis and recommendation. And finally, a brief conclusion. So first, a brief presentation of Tesla. Tesla is a tech giant active in solar panel, batteries, R&D, but mostly in electric cars with 100,000 FTEs. The company is worth $700 billion vs $240 billion for Toyota, while Tesla sells 30 times less cars. Then, the evaluation. Our evaluation of Tesla with the BIA allowed us to make many discoveries. But first, what are the results of the BIA? We managed to answer 80% of the question to obtain a score of 43.3. Let's go deeper into our findings. As far as governance goes, here is Tesla's mission: to accelerate world's transition to sustainable energy. They do it through their energy ecosystem. Note that the company doesn't have a mission lock. More than its mission, Tesla follows its leader, Elon Musk. Also, in the BIA, they seem to be quite transparent, whereas it's not really the case because they publish very little about the outcomes they produce. For example, the indirect suppliers and their working condition or their respect for environment.
On the workers section, Tesla pays attention to the welfare of its workers and gives them many benefits. However, they insist on the fact that they pay a lot of attention to reduce the inequalities, but we have found opposite tendencies and we wonder about their transparency, which we will talk about in the analysis. Tesla scores 3 times less than its sector, and it's maybe due to the lack of information.
Tesla has done several charitable activities and they support workforce development by providing the local community with access to job opportunity and training. It has a diverse workforce. The majority of employees are from underrepresented population and 33% of them are in leadership position. Even if the company claims that they have a safe workplace, they received several complaints about discrimination. Tesla expects its suppliers to source only responsibly produced materials. They also expect them to do the same with their own supply chain. So it's still difficult for Tesla to know the origin of all its suppliers' products.
About the environment, in 2021, Tesla has allowed their customers to avoid emitting 8.4 million metric tons of CO2, which is better than any other car constructor. However, its supply chain is causing some serious damages because of the mineral extractions to produce the batteries. The suppliers have to mine these raw materials, which is causing soil degradation, water shortages, biodiversity loss, and an increase in global warming. This explains Tesla's Scope 3 low performance, shadowing its will to reduce customers' emissions.
Now, the recommendations. For the environment, they should set goals for Scope 3 emissions. The problem is that they don't have a lot of information on those emissions. For that, a solution is data tracking for their supply chain, but also all their suppliers. It could help them track key emitters. For example, their water consumption is low, but only because they don't track their consumption for the mining of the raw materials. A research they could lead in the future is finding more environmental friendly substitutes for lithium, cobalt, and nickel.
Regarding the damage caused by the raw material supplier on local communities, we saw that the environment was threatened. To these communities, they should provide agriculture support, water supply, and cleaning fields.
For the governance, Tesla should be more transparent. In our BIA, we noticed that a lot of pieces of information are not published. We found many accusations of child labor, racial discriminations, and accusation of heavy environmental damage, which doesn't correspond to their ethical policies. Such companies must be ethically irreproachable and must respond to such accusations.
And a conclusion? Large companies like these need to be above reproach and set an example. On the one hand, they have to monitor their outcomes. On the other hand, they have to be fully transparent to give a clear view of their global impact. They should implement a genuine ESG strategy. Finally, we wanted to say that this process was really interesting. It taught us to go beyond our preconceived idea to find out the impact. It was mind-blowing. This work has inspired some of us. Thank you for listening.